Is Roblox becoming too greedy? Today we discuss the sudden change in history behind monetization practices in Roblox and deciding if this will end up hurting the platform in the future. Now without further ado, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get straight into this discussion. Exhibit A, what you are to developers. If we look into it further, we see that Roblox developers have three main forms of players: first purchasers, repeating purchasers, and whales. First purchasers are the hardest to get since they are not fully convinced that your game is worth spending money on. It is quoted here that it is recommended to keep offering players rewards after they have hit a certain achievement in the game, since you as the player are more likely to spend more money on a game if you are constantly leveling up, so to speak. A repeating purchaser is like the average anime adventures player. Once they get you to spend a small amount of money on the game, you likely spend more and more at increasingly larger intervals, and you won't even realize until it's too late and the bank is calling asking what happened to all your money. A whale is someone who has been spending money on a game constantly and has now set aside disposable income for your game, and these are probably the rarest to come by. It is said here that most developers do updates. Even if the update is so insignificant like tiny, it will still click in the whale's brain that there is something new that they have to obtain. I never realized this until I looked at the front page and noticed just how many games are doing this little trick to get people to join their game and buy things. Exhibit B, why pay to play will be the downfall of Roblox. You ain't nothing but a broke boy. Now, when you hear pay to play, you probably think of games like Deep Woken, Welcome to Bloxburg, Pokemon Break Bronze when that was out. But no, what if I told you that there are actual developers charging full-on actual game prices for games now? Now, you may also be thinking, isn't that against TOS? Well, technically it is, but there was a way for developers to get past this until recently. The main game I want to bring up is Jujutsu Infinite, a game based on the popular anime Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, this game is essentially not out yet, but it is in testing and has been out for a month or two. This game was charging $30 on Discord in order to obtain access through a group in which they would rank you in order for you to gain access to the game. Now, this was going smoothly for the game and its devs, and maybe it went a little too smoothly as they made over $1 million essentially evading the Roblox tax. Put it in basic terms, everything a game sells, 30% of that goes to Roblox, and the rest seemingly goes to the developers. Now, you may also be thinking, why couldn't the Jujutsu Infinite developers just put the game on Roblox for 2,400 Robux? Well, simply because developers would make less money through DevX, which is a system in which they are able to transform their Robux into actual USD. Basically, Roblox caught wind of this little operation and shut the game down temporarily, but put it back up for review, which Roblox had every right to take the game down there, but they decided to come up with an agreement and allow them to keep the game up, but they couldn't sell tester again. The developers of Jujutsu Infinite put out a statement stating that they weren't aware of such TOS, which obviously was a lie because it's clearly stated in Roblox's TOS that this is against the rules, but they made millions off of people evading tax, so why would they admit to being fully aware of their wrongdoings? Here's where things start to get scary for the future of Roblox. Since developers have seen that people are willing to pay a premium for games, say goodbye to the majority of games being released free, and say hello to games being stuck in a quote-unquote testing phase with a price tag attached right to it. And don't forget, these games are still going to have microtransactions because every game on Roblox just has to have them. But one more thing that scares me about this is the fact that a lot of these games are using stolen anime IPs and making profit off of what they don't own. It was fine for a while to use certain anime IPs because Roblox is so unregulated and goes under the radar a lot of the time, but if a big name company like Viz Media or Shonen Jump or any of these other companies see these games making millions without even negotiating with them first, it could spell the end for not only just that game, but the Roblox platform in general, if Roblox doesn't regulate their own site properly to abide by basic copyright law. Luckily, most games have changed their characters to look kind of like the real thing, but they're obvious ripoffs. Exhibit C, the gambling issue on Roblox. Now onto one of the main issues with the Roblox platform today. Roblox quite literally has become one of the biggest hubs for illegal child gambling, which is why they're in a class action lawsuit for permitting people under 18 to gamble in games and on sites for Robux currency, which a lot of the time involves USD. But here I want to talk specifically about the gambling system in games. I made a community post recently asking you what you thought of them, and majority of people, as you can see, don't like them in games, and I can tell you exactly why. In every Roblox RPG or anime RPG, and even in the most popular game Blox Fruits, there is some type of casino style slot system in the game. For example, in every anime style RPG, it seems that there's always a race or ability slot mechanism at the start of the game, which forces you to spend for hours in order to get the ability you want to start the game. Not to mention how this immediately introduces unbalance into the games, since the most rare thing things will always be better than what is considered common in most cases. Let's look at Fruit Battlegrounds, for example, a Battlegrounds game based around One Piece. In this game, before you even start, you have to spin a gacha for a fruit. Every update, this game decides to add a broken fruit that literally causes a power shift every update, resulting in the most unbalanced, unfair meta shift ever. Literally, there are rates as low as 0.19%, not even a full percent. Less than 1% is literally criminal, and there is no way to tell if developers are lying to you, so they could easily be lower or in some cases higher than what they seem to be. Again, not accusing anyone of this, but this literally happened with Type Soul, where a developer leaked information about incorrect rates on the game. A tower defense game in which also has an aggressive monetization system is Anime Adventures, one of the most popular of its genre, and has clearly overtaken ASTD, a game I believe to be a lot more free to play than this one. In Anime Adventures, you summon for units via a loot box system. That sounds pretty standard until you realize not only do you have to spend for a good unit in the game, but you also have to spend for a 0.1% trait for your summoned hero. Without this trait, your unit isn't at max potential, and there are tons of bad traits that you can get, so you have to spin off of them until you get something good. The most hilarious part is that 10 spins of this cost 1,000 Robux, and we aren't even going to talk about the terrible toilet tower defense games that everyone, I assume, likes because it's at 100k players. Another example of a game locking broken abilities behind a gacha gambling system is the wildly popular bladeball. In the recent update, they added an ability called Death Slash, which is, you guessed it, very broken. It is locked behind bladeball's terrible monetization system, where you have to spend upwards of thousands of Robux for the most broken ability that ruins the game. At first, I actually thought bladeball was a decent game, but nowadays I don't even bother playing it due to the game coming down to whoever has the most broken ability from an update, making it so hard to play the game in a fair way anymore. It just sucks that such a decently fun game like bladeball has to be ruined by money-hungry developers. Exhibit D, the dangers of a gambling addiction. I don't think a lot of people realize just how serious a gambling addiction can be, and it is a real thing you or your friend might have and you might not even know. These games are so enticing, and they want you to spend increasingly unreasonable amounts of money on their game. Be smart enough to realize when too much is too much. I get that new power-up or ability might be cool, or you really want to show off to your friends, but a lot of the time it's just not healthy, nor is it worth it a lot of the time. I was there at one point spending my hard-earned ticks and Robux on a game called Shinobi Life, not even realizing how much money I was wasting. All in all, I believe Roblox has to regulate this absolutely disgusting and brutal gambling culture on Roblox, because not only does it make the platform look terrible, it gets them in trouble and also exposes kids and people around my age to unwise and unhealthy habits that shouldn't be developed this early in life. But as I say in every video, if you guys enjoyed this video and you like some more content like this one, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.